Hello everyone, Hater here, and welcome back to my Newcomer's Guide to Dark Souls Remastered. This is part 7. So in the last part, we ended up finishing off the Capra Demon, and we're about to head into the depths at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my Elite gear, and I'm going to go ahead and re-equip Havel's Ring. So before we move on to the next area, I do want to talk about some of the things that you're going to want to make sure that you have at this point. So for starters, the area we're going to be going into does have Basilisks who will basically hit us with a fog that, if we're in it too long, will basically die of Curse, and Curse is basically a permanent loss of our max health. So if you get that, then you'll basically want to use Purging Stones to deal with that. You can again go back to Oswald of Karim. He is actually near the Bell Gargoyles boss battle that we dealt with before. So if you want to go back to him, he sells them for the cheapest. The other NPC, the NPC we're actually about to go past, she actually sells them for about double the cost. So we generally want to don't want to have to buy them for 6,000 souls. That being said, if you're careful, you may not need any of them. So the Purging Stones, there's only one little section of there, and I will alert you whenever we're going there. In addition, it's not even a required area. You can almost completely avoid it, as long as you're careful about not dropping into holes that you shouldn't be dropping into. Beyond that, I recommend having some fire bombs for the giant rat that we're going to deal with, so that we don't have to take him on ourselves. I recommend having the charcoal pine resin at this point, because we're going to use that against the boss, which is the Gaping Dragon. In addition, we are going to end up wanting to have, of course, some humanity, because we're actually going to be making ourselves human for both an invasion. There's actually an NPC invasion. It's our first NPC invasion. And then we're also going to end up getting Solaire to help us with the boss as well. Other than that, though, that's basically everything that we really want to have at this point. In addition, it's going to be a while before we come back through all of these areas, so I kind of recommend at this point, if you have not gotten your Claymore up to +5, go ahead and get it up to +5 at this point, because it is going to be pretty heavily needed going forward for some of the enemies that we're going to be facing. So, with that out of the way, though, we're going to go ahead and head back into town, and we're actually going to use the same path that we used to go back to the Capra Demon, but we're actually going to go to the entrance to the depths now. Still no humanity. That's okay, actually, because we're going to be getting into an area that has a bunch of rats in it, so we'll be getting into an area that is pretty good, I would say, for farming humanity. Though it's not the best. Again, at this stage, we can, again, want to make sure that we have at least a few blooming purple moss clumps. We don't need them yet, but we will need them when we go to Blighttown. Go ahead and make sure you got the pine resin from her. I'm going to go ahead and buy humanity, since she sells that. And I think we will be good with that. Next time I come through here, I am going to purchase some poison arrows, though, in prep for going to Anor Londo. Alright, so we got the key to the depths from the Capra Demon. We're going to go ahead and head down. So down here we have a couple of these guys. We also have one that's behind us. Over here we have a soul item. Before you move on, I'm going to go ahead and shoot this guy. If you've already got poison arrows, you can hit him with 2 or 3, and that'll trigger him to have poison. That being said, though, he's easy enough to kill, so that'll just knock him down so that he doesn't surprise us later. And we're going to go ahead and head down. We got some of these guys with fire. Here we've got another one of these dogs. Got another dog here. And we have this guy. These guys, by the way, don't respawn. They can be parried. Oh, man. I usually parry their actual swing. I don't think I've ever tried to parry that. Anyway, so they have a swing. And I'm sucking at parrying right now. Okay, I do have a Caval's Ring on. Anyway, we can backstab him. You can parry him. Again, they don't respawn, however, which is good. Oh, you're not dead yet. There you go. Anyway, he will drop the sack on his head. Over here we have a large Ember. This is going to be key, by the way, to leveling up our gear beyond +5. So we'll be taking that over to Andre at some point. So in here we got more of these dogs. Now I'm going to go ahead and trade for the rusted iron rings. I want to be able to walk around in here. And be on the lookout because we got the other one coming down here. Ooh, he was fast with that. Trying to teach you a lesson that I can parry your crap. Old fart. Alright, he's dead. Anyway, we're going to come up here and make a left. And back here you have a pyromancer buddy. So this guy is your first pyromancy trainer, Laurentius, and he will show up in Firelink Shrine now that you have rescued him. So if you want to take the pyromancy route, or if you chose pyromancy as your class at the beginning of the game, again, you'll already have some pyromancy stuff, but you can basically get your pyromancy flame from him. Anyway, we're going to go the opposite way, and we're going to open up this door. And don't grab this item quite yet. There is a thing up here that is trying to get you. These things are not all that dangerous, but they do have a lot of health. They don't like fire, by the way, so if you want to use fire bombs against them, you can toast them pretty quick. Oh, I forgot about you. Alright, so if we head down this path, if you're not doing so hot right now, you can run down that way, and behind the guy with the torch is the bonfire. That being said, we'll basically incur these things dropping down on us as we pass, so I'm actually going to recommend that we go around. So we're actually going to drop down this path. So you'll see there's a rat there. For the moment, just ignore him. We're going to go around. And this is the spider shield. This is going to be integral to dealing with Blighttown when we head that way. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to Havel's Ring. So this guy does some pretty healthy damage. You can go ahead and hit him with your fire bombs, however. Not a bad idea. At least do a few shots of damage to him. Then you can finish him off with a plunging attack. And he will drop humanity. Over here we have the sewer chamber key, which we'll use a little bit later. And then over here we get the soul of a nameless soldier. Down here we get another soul item. Now before we continue down there, because we are going to head down there, this, by the way, if you are struggling, you can basically go down here, hug the left-hand side, and then once you're all the way down, you can basically open up this door from the other side, and that actually takes you directly to the bonfire. So if you're struggling, you can definitely do that, but be careful whenever you're going down here. You want to make sure that you hug the left side as you go down, because otherwise you'll end up in a pit with a bunch of basilisks. You do not want that. Assuming that you're doing good on health, though, we're going to go ahead and head in here. And you want to follow the direction that the rats are in. So here's one rat. Head down. Here's another rat. Now this rat is in front of one of these drops. You're not going to go that way, so go ahead and turn here. And now we are dealing with a Chancellor. Or Chandler. Did I call it a Chancellor before? I think I did. So this is one of these really big rats. And these guys do a pretty healthy amount of damage. I'm staying in here, by the way, because there is a Chancellor or Channeler who is shooting magic arrows at us. Ugh. Gotta love the, what do you call it? Oh god. Might die if we ain't careful. There we go. Alrighty, so, Channeler has, of course, magic. But he is a... what do you call it? A glass cannon just like the other ones. There are a couple of rats inside these. Just going to deal with them. Then we're going to head back here for a large Titanite shard. And we're going to head through the fog door. Got another soul item. And here we have a bunch of rats. Hey, our first humanity from a rat. Ain't that surprising? Anyway. By the way, if you go down this path, This is the opposite end of where that rat was that we killed. So we've gone all the way around now. So we're gonna head up here. Got some more rats. There's also one inside one of these. There we go. One of these things. Bunch more rats in the corner here. And usually they aren't this quite this aggressive. Anyway, great axe, actually a pretty nice weapon. And then we're going to go ahead and head in here, and this actually goes back up to the bonfire. I'm gonna go ahead and use the soul items I've been collecting, get myself a level. Alright, so now we are going to work our way back because we want to open up this shortcut back to the bonfire here, which will be a shortcut back to the, what do you call it? The bonfire from the boss area. Still no humanity. I'm not that lucky today. I totally forgot about you. Alright, so we're going to head back around. We're actually going back the way we came. The Channeler, by the way, Chancellor, he does not respawn. By the way, it's super important that you kill the Channeler here, because he's actually overlooking the boss area. And if he is able to... Sorry, got distracted. If he is able to buff the boss, it won't be a good day for you. So again, make sure to kill the Channeler before you deal with the boss that we're going to be facing. Oh, wrong way. Again, follow the rats. Take a ride out here, and now we are back to where we were before. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to head down here. Make sure that you hug the left wall as you're going and doing this. You do not want to end up in that pit. And then as we head up here, this will take you back to the bonfire. So there's your shortcut. Ah, one of these things. Now, there's a couple more rats out here we can deal with. This, by the way, is the entrance to Blighttown. This is Domhnall. So Domhnall sells some pine resin. I always like to keep a couple on me, so I'm going to buy 2 from him. He also sells crystal weapons. Now, crystal weapons do a lot of damage, and they have scaling as well, but the caveat to these weapons is that they cannot be repaired. So that's a consideration to make if you're going for crystal weapons. Otherwise, though, he sells some different arrows, cheap arrows like the wooden arrows. They don't fly very far, and they don't inflict damage, or a lot of damage, I should say, but they can be effective. Large arrows do more damage, but again, they cost quite a bit more. For right now, not that useful to us. He also sells his gear as well. The main thing about this guy, by the way, is that he sells boss gear. So whenever you are thinking about the whole, Fashion Souls thing and trying to figure out what gear you would like to utilize in the game, you can come to this guy and basically buy up all the boss gear. He will be here for a little while. He'll eventually show up near Firelink Shrine. I'll point him out whenever we next go to see him, but because he's actually hidden really well. He actually requires that jump where we found the first Ring of Sacrifice. So anyway, that's basically him. We're gonna go ahead and head in here. This is the boss arena, by the way, but we're gonna just come here for an item real quick. So make a right here, head down. There is Solaris summon symbol, by the way. Around here is a heavy crossbow. Again, crossbows are good because they don't rely on strength or dexterity or scaling for that matter, but they do a solid amount of damage. Okay, so what we're about to do is we're going to go ahead and head into the dangerous area now. The dangerous area has basilisks in it. It also has rats in it. So kind of your decision at this point. You do not have to do this area if you don't want to, but I want to make sure that we get all the items. So again, having some... Dang it, not letting me talk. Okay. So you want to make sure that you've got some of those purge stones just in case. So don't go down here if you do not have purge. Have at least one purge stone. In addition, we want to be human for this because we're about to have an invasion. And this will be an invasion of an NPC, so it's guaranteed to happen regardless of whether or not you're playing online or not. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and head down here, deal with more rats. As you kind of go around the corner, you'll see a basilisk over there. If you can kill these guys, by the way, these are the basilisks. But now we're invaded. This guy's gear is basically all covered in spikes, so he'll do damage even if he blocks you and puts his shield to you. Otherwise, though, he's actually not that big of a deal. This is Kirk. He'll actually show up several times in the game. So he has a slow roll. You can basically just stab him repeatedly. Just kind of step away, stab, step away, stab. And he's dead. He has a chance to drop some of his gear. Usually he'll drop his shield here. Or, oh, we got his sword this time around. Usually it's his shield I tend to get. Anyway, we'll actually run into Kirk several times in the game. So be aware of that. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and head down this path. Head up here. We'll come to get these items here in a few minutes, by the way. So just go up for now. So there is one in here. I'm going to go ahead and kill him ahead of time so we don't have to deal with him on the other end. I'm in here for a soul item. We have another one to kill. These guys drop Eyes of Death, by the way. There is a covenant, the Gravelord Covenant, that we will talk a little bit about when we go into the catacombs that is related to these guys. So you definitely like Eyes of Death if you want to farm them. Those are really important for Gravelording. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and come around here, and we've got another one of these things kind of standing right there. I'll go ahead and peg him. So again, these things, that's the stuff you want to stay away from. Usually I just kind of get away and then let them come to me. So down here we have a bunch more. This is where I'm going to recommend that you use some fire bombs for this. Oh, you jumped away, jerk. So they do not like fire. And if you're careful about this, you can pretty much nail all of them before you go down there. Couple more right here. Do a jump attack off here. And if you can attack them before they use their ability, you'll be fine. Anyway, so we're going to come back here, and I'm going to head up here. And there's a drop here, but I want to get that item over there. So I'm going to basically do a running jump for a humanity. And I've pretty much killed all of the dangerous ones at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and head down. Back here, by the way, is a Ring of the Evil Eye. This ring, by the way, is interesting. Basically, what it does is it absorbs HP from fallen enemies, so you'll get some health back for every enemy that you kill. But for now, we're going to go ahead and head down here. And again, we've dealt with all of them at this point. So, got another soul item, and you're basically done with what I consider to be the dangerous area of this place. So, you can farm this area for Eyes of Death if you want to. Beyond that, though, we're going to go ahead and head back to the bonfire. And then we're going to go ahead and go set up for the next boss. Okie dokie, so let's see, we can get a couple of levels. Awesome. So we're about to head off to the Gaping Dragon. The gear that you're going to want to have, I'm going to go ahead and say charcoal pine resin would be a good idea to have. This boss takes a lot of hits. However, we basically just want to stay behind the boss and let Solaire be our meat shield, basically. Anyway, beyond that, though, we're pretty much just going to be able to kill this boss without too much trouble. So, if you want more Estus flasks, you can kindle this bonfire. We're only going to come here a couple of times, though, so I don't generally recommend wasting your... what do you call it? Your humanity for kindling. You do want to be human for this, by the way, because we are about to summon Solaire into the game. Get back here. Okay. So again, we're going to make a right here. Head down. And we have Solaire's summon pad here. So Solaire will often die in this fight. But that's okay, this boss isn't that bad either way. So, this boss is huge. It will jump up into the air, come back down. That's pretty dangerous. He's got basically 4 legs, and his front 2 legs he can grab you. That can be kind of dangerous as well. So generally we're going to stay on his tail. We are going to knock off his tail as well, though it does take quite a few hits to knock off his tail, and that'll give us a tail weapon. He'll also sometimes coat the floor in this stuff, which will do damage to you. It'll also make you stumble as well, so we want to avoid that. He'll also kind of he's kind of shaped weird. He's got like a maw on his chest, a gaping maw, hence the name of the dragon. So whenever he comes down with his head, he'll basically kind of like close the maw. So if you are underneath him whenever that happens, that can be super damaging. Other than that, though, just avoid his hands, the front legs basically, and then avoid him coming down on top of you whenever he jumps. And let Solera take most of the hits. Also, he has a very small head on top of the front of his body. It does a little bit more damage if you hit the head, but in my opinion, it's not all that much extra. It's definitely not enough to justify being more reckless with this fight. So, but other than that, we're gonna go ahead and head down. Go ahead and use the gold pine resin, or not gold pine resin. I'm sorry, charcoal pine resin. And this is kind of a lengthy boss as well. There's the maw thing. We can hit the little head here. In my opinion, though, it's kind of dangerous. You're likely to get hit. So that's usually why I don't choose to do it that way. We're going to come over here and see if we can knock off his tail. And there's his jump. And we want to stay away from those arms if we can. He's jumping again. There's the attempt to grab you, by the way. That, or maybe he was going to, Oh. There's his tail. Now he can't whip you with his tail, by the way, so that's a lot of damage he's not going to be able to do. So Solera died. That does not mean he's actually dead, thankfully. What it does mean, however, is that he isn't going to give you a sunlight medal for this fight. So again, you can do a little bit more damage for him if you hit him in the head, but I just think it's too risky to get him in the head, but kind of up to you. And stay away from those hand swipes. Those are pretty devastating. And he is dead. So now we got the key to Blighttown. We're also going to come over here for some gear. This is actually the gear that you started with, the leather gear. So now we're going to go ahead and head back to the bonfire, talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the next episode, spend some souls, and then I think we'll wrap out the episode. Alrighty, so let's do some level ups. So we are now at level 20 for strength and dexterity. I'm going to go ahead and start leveling up vitality and endurance to 30. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap out. So we finished off the Gaping Dragon, we've cleared out the depths area, gotten all the items here. In the next episode, we're going to be moving into Blighttown. Next episode, I'll talk about the items that we need, but if you've been following along, then at this point you should already have all the items necessary for dealing with Blighttown. Blighttown is one of the, I would say, most hated areas of this game for good reason. It's quite long for what it is, and there's a lot of pretty difficult enemies to face, so this is really, I would say, where you want that that Claymore to be leveled up all the way. Well, at least a +5 right now. Anyway, with that though, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.